Hello guys and gals, and we're back with another coloring project, I would say. We're going to try colored pencils with this book and see if it works. That's basically what this dry run is for, is just to see if I can actually use colored pencils. If not, that's fine. I do have crayons on the back burner. But anyways, not just a saying you shouldn't keep your crayons on the back burner, they'd melt because of the extreme heat. Also, you should not leave your crayons, out in the sun because they will melt. Unless they're the twistable kind, in which I don't think they can melt. I don't know. Anyways, let's see. I do have some colors picked out here. We've got these colors here. We can go over the colors a little bit later. But anyways, let's go ahead and see. Move the colored pencils. This is another book by Bendon. They did the last book we did. This was only $1 over at Dollar General, as you can see. So let's see what we got here. So originally, and I still remember when the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comics were in black and white. I mean, this was pre-Archie comics, and so we could be all and just do black and white, but I'm not going to do that. Let's go ahead and see here. Okay, I think that the cardboard is in a good place. Yeah, okay. And so yeah, let's see. We do have some brown here for the bow staff, the nunchucks. I also have silver, which is really cool. Now, judging by this, you can't see the L, but this is Leonardo, because he's using the swords. There's Donatello using the bow staff. There's Michelangelo using the nunchakus, and the sais with Raph. I also have colors for the headbands and the belts. Wait. Let's do a little recon. Okay, the belts aren't colored. Only the masks. Okay, I had to check and make sure. Been a long time since I've actually seen the show, or even the movies. I haven't even seen the newest movie that they put out. But it was cool to see that Mondo Gecko was in it because that brought back memories. I remember when Archie Comics had Mondo Gecko. But anyways, we're gonna see how this works. It might not be very good. I don't know. It's looking pretty good. Okay. And I think the tape on the bow staff is like white, like the tape, the wraps yeah, this is looking pretty good actually. Now if I remember right, this is tape also. The tape goes all the way down the middle of the bow staff. So, I think that probably right before the grip right here is brown. And then, this. Just like that. And then that's all we see of the bow staff because, yeah. Also, I like the foreshortening. That's kind of cool. We could do the weapons first, just because. We have a nice sharp silver pencil here for the katana here. This is not going to show up very well, but it's going to look really cool when I put a little light on it. And that's going to be really neat. I'm going to try for a little bit of a metal sheen. I know this isn't like Knights and Dragons. It's taking the Knights and Dragons place. But this is not Knights and Dragons. But it's still going to be really cool. Again, this is not going to show up very well unless you look at it from the side. And it still doesn't show up very well. Okay. Okay. The sides are metallic. So we're just going to do this. Interesting fact about Raphael. In the Archie comic series, his girlfriend was a fox named Ninjara. Then I think that in the series, they changed it to Alopex, who was also a fox. Except I think Alopex was an Arctic fox and Ninjara was a red fox. So I guess that Raph has a thing for fox chicks. I don't know. Anyways, okay, let's see. Okay, we have another sword to do here. Or they keep pairing him with fox chicks. I don't know. Also, I can't say. I haven't really done enough research on Alopex. I don't know why they didn't just use Ninjara, to be honest, because I mean, if you have rights to the series, you might as well do that. Some of the characters like Mondo Gecko, Man Ray, I think was his name. Mondo, no, what's the wolf's name? There was a wolf. I forget what his name was, but there's also a wolf, and they formed this group called the Mutanimals or something. And also Jaguar. He was probably my favorite of all. They didn't really use Jaguar much, like in the show, but he showed up in the Archie comics quite a bit. Then they later retconned it and made him or her, and then then she was some kind of demigod or something, which would make sense given the character. Let's see, we have red here. Nice bright red for Raph's headband. Let's see. This is very, very difficult work, by the way. The sheer amount, and this is looking okay. The colors are not bold, I would say, but they're not too bad. Okay, I'm going to be careful here. There. I think this looks okay, but I'm not sure. I think the belts are brown. We have brown here. We only see parts of their shells. I have 2 shades of green here. A very dark green for the shell, as per the cover, and green for their skin, which is, I guess, makes sense. I'm probably going to have to sharpen this. This looks like a pretty dull pencil. But, okay. Let's see. The details here are kind of hard to see. This is like a little flap of the belt. The belt, like, wraps around. Okay. Just like that. Okay. I don't remember if these are... We'll make that red. Okay. Let's see. I think that the pads, the knee pads and the shoulder pads... Okay, I think those are colored as well. Let me just check. Let me spill all my colored pencils, just trying to get the book closed. Okay. This is... I'm going to try to memorize this. Okay, yeah. This is the picture they use right inside the cover, so this is really helpful. Yeah, so that's like the belt. Okay. Good. Good. Okay, I'm memorizing it. I'm absorbing. We'll use gold on that. I can get the gold colored pencil out of here. Have gold for the little hilt thing. The sword. The katana. Looks like part of the sword is brown also. The grips are brown. Okay. Okay, in this one it does show that the grips are brown too. I'm going to keep them white because in the comics they were white. Okay, I think I've memorized this as much as I can. Okay. Okay, let's okay. So, we can start at the back. I think that the smaller details are going to be the most difficult. So we'll start at the back, right here, with Raphael, I guess. The size are... Okay. I'm going to need to get the gold-colored pencil out. Okay, so I got the gold-colored pencil out, and it's nice and sharp, so that's good. Especially with these finer details. Again, I don't know if this is going to be bold enough. I don't know. I would still like to use my colored pencils, you know. I think that if I remember right, the end here was like a gold color of the size. Yes. Just like this. There. Gold. And again, when you hold this up to the light, I can just display right now. You can see it shimmers, which is kind of cool. That's why I like these colored pencils. Brown for like the grip. The grip is brown. Kind of like that. And I don't know if this is going to be bold enough. Oh. Let's see. So I have regular green here for the skin. Oh. I'm going to need to sharpen this pencil for sure. And we'll just do this. I don't know if I consider myself an OG fan, but I used to watch the original, like the very first anime. I even had like most of the Archie comics. I think at one time I had them all. Lost some of them in a move, but yeah. But still, I don't know if that makes me an OG fan or not. Also had some of the like the original comics, but I don't know where those are. There. I think this is a bold enough color. I think the colored pencils are going to work fine in this book. They didn't work in the Knights and Dragons book for some reason, but I think they'll work fine in this one. Let's see. I don't have a color for the shell yet, as in the underside of the shell. I have to look. Okay. At least the cover is a reference image, so we do this. And then that's red. And then we have green for the hands. There we go. Okay. Just like this. And even though I'm barely touching the paper right here, the colors are pretty bold. I kind of like where this is going. Okay, so we just double check. So this is green right here. Like that. Okay. Okay. I also need to get out the pink. Kind of like that. And then we'll put some color on the dome too. Gotta color the dome. Okay. So we do have red for the pads here, the knee pads, shoulder pads. Well, they're not the elbow pads. Okay. I do like the bold colors here. I thought that after I got done with the Pokemon coloring book, I wouldn't be able to do this anymore. But I'm glad I still can. That's pretty cool. So yeah, let's see. Oh yeah, there are some areas here. Right there. And checking. Okay. I think that this was red. And this was red. Just like that. Okay, I do need to think of a color for this. They're using a brown, like a yellowish brown. So I might have to do that. Okay, so yellowish brown. What do I think of? Yellowish brown. Maybe an orange. How does this look? This might be too light. No, okay. I think I like this. This might work. There we go. Just like that. There you go. Okay, well now we have Michelangelo. Again, like I say, the most difficult ones are going to be the ones that are in the back. Michelangelo is yellow or orange. I have this orange set apart for him. Right here. So I'm going to put the orange that I'm going to use for the shell up there, so I can keep it separate from this orange. Otherwise, I might use it on accident. Wait a minute. Oh, the reference picture doesn't match. That's fine. Just like that. Okay. This one we do see the darker shell. So let's see. This is a dark green, pine green. I think pine green is probably darker than like green, right? So I think we'll just use this extra dark green here on the shell, things that I'm sure are shell. This is, Michelangelo has, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's the belt, okay. Just like that. Dark green. Okay. We have the light green right here, aka regular green. So let's see. Okay. Okay, we'll color this arm first. I know in the animated show, at least one season. Okay, there were several seasons of the show. Let's get that straight. One of my favorites, though, was probably one of the later ones. It basically focused more on mysticism, I would say. And there was like a Tournament of Champions type thing going on. And really an interesting use of time travel, I would say. Dimensional travel. And it used a lot of really neat elements. I really liked that franchise or the show. I don't know if they ever like replicated it. But it also introduced Yosaki Yojimbo, the samurai rabbit. And they were able to do that because this was like a multi-dimensional thing. They had the best fighters from like all of the dimensions. And spoiler alert, Michelangelo turned out to be like the strongest. It was kind of a fluke though, but he actually came through pretty well. And it proved that he was like the best. Like the strongest in the universe, you know, like Goku. Because of like a tournament of power type thing. Where there were bouts and then there was treachery and stuff like that. And there's even all kinds of neat stuff. Okay, let me check the nunchucks real quick. Okay, it says the ends of the nunchucks are gold. Okay, we can do that. I'm just going to do this. Okay. Okay. We have our nice sharp golden pencil right here. But yeah, I don't even know what you would call that. I've actually seen most of the different seasons they've had, or the different iterations, yeah, you could say. Even saw the live action one, where they had like a fifth turtle, Venus de Milo, and everybody seemed to hate that one for some reason. I honestly thought that was a kind of an interesting series. Oh. I thought it was an interesting take, but I could see why people would be upset. People don't really like change. I have to make some guesses here. Some intuitive guesses. Okay, so I think this is a knee pad. Okay. I see that we have the hand here gripping the nunchaku. Nice. There's another foot right here. Yeah, there we go. Okay, oh. This is a continuation of the belt, I think. It's kind of small and hard to see. All the detail here. Let's see. Okay, here's the orange I got for the undershell. We're gonna just use that liberally, I guess. Kind of like this. So there we have it. I do need to darken the screen here a little bit. Kind of like that. Okay. Up next, we have Donatello, and I do have... The problem with this color set is there aren't very many purples, so I'm using violet. Maybe orchid would work better, but I think this says violet on it. This is probably the only purple I have. Violet. So it might work. Yeah, that looks like a good enough purple to me. It's not going to be perfect. But yeah, also another really good movie. It was a crossover between Batman and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's Batman meets the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Or it was something like that. It might have been Batman versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Something like that. Either way, which was kind of interesting because with all the different licensing these days, at the time the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were owned by Nickelodeon. They still are, actually. But they were originally owned by Marvel, if you actually know the lore. The same ooze that created Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was also the same stuff that blinded Daredevil. So you've got a Marvel franchise and a DC movie, which is kind of interesting. I made a video about it, still on the channel somewhere, about how Marvel and DC kind of came together because of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you know. The Foot Clan is like a corruption or a parody of the Hand in Daredevil. So basically, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were parodying Daredevil. And so through such and such events, DC met Marvel for a short time, even though they were basically owned by Nickelodeon. I'll still count it. Back in the old days, listen to me going on about the old days, Marvel and DC would like collaborate all the time. I mean, you'd have entire storylines that revolved around the characters like crossing over and stuff. But, you know, this day and age, it's all about who has the movie rights and who has the rights to properties, so that doesn't really ever happen anymore. Kind of sad, really. Missed opportunity. Somebody just needs to buy up all the properties and then, like, you know. This isn't the pine green, is it? No, it's a regular one. But I think that's basically what Disney's doing anyways. If they only knew what they were doing with the franchises. Seems like everything Disney touches turns to crap anyways. Anyways, do I need to mention Elio and how Sony's K-pop Demon Hunters blew it out of the water? But yeah, eventually Disney will hemorrhage enough money that they'll probably, you know, learn the error of their ways, like making live-action remakes of every animated movie ever, which was never a good idea to begin with. But that's just that. Oh, I need more purple. Right here, yeah. Because they've also got the wrist things. Yeah, the wrist things. Can't forget the wrist things. But yeah. But yeah. Okay. Oh. Gotta do this. These colored pencils are working really well on this paper. I'm surprised, actually. So I think there's an area here. That's green. Okay, this is looking fine. Okay, we need the pine green now. The pine garden green. Okay, so we'll just do extra dark green for that. Okay, and I need the, oh no. Which one was it? I don't remember. I didn't put the colored pencil back, so I might be using the wrong color here. Okay. I think this is right. I think I was using mango for... I think this says mango. No, sometimes using these colored pencils makes me hungry. Because they're all named after food for some reason. Okay. Now... I'm going to need to sharpen this colored pencil, probably. I'm going to have to sharpen me a colored pencil. Oh. Okay, this looks like a knee pad. So I need the violet. Just like that. That's not the pine, is it? Not the crisp pine. Okay, that's got to be a made-up name. Unless you were living through the 60s, you won't get the last name Pine. Anyways, and you know, everybody knows actors don't use their real names usually. I mean, for a while, Keanu Reeves didn't use his real name. Okay, we have one left. Okay. So that one was a lot easier because it just was. Okay, well, wait. Let me just darken this a little bit. There. Yeah, there you go. Now, if I remember right, I need gold. Wait. Checking. Okay. Using what I know, which isn't much, we can determine that this is gold right here. Or we're going to make it gold. And given the metric, we can determine that that's that. We can do this. Okay, we can't see any more of the sword there. I need brown. This is the brown, I think. And we will just do that. Okay. Now, the blue I selected is cerulean, I think. I don't know. I thought it might look neat. I don't know. I don't have an exact Leonardo blue, but this should be fine. Yeah, this looks like this is a good enough blue, I would say. But yeah, I'll tell you about one I feel is one of the best. I know I haven't seen any of the newer ones, so I can't really say. One of the best animated ones was it went on for a while too, a couple seasons, I want to say. I remember one a while back that I think it was like the second or third time they rebooted the franchise. It had like Call the Conqueror, Noel. No, wait, not Noel. Noel was from the comics. This alien warlord invaded and then tried to persuade the people that he was good or something. Also introduced some new guy that got introduced to mutagen. He was able to turn his body like metal or something. And then the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles underwent a third like mutation that made them like hostile or something. But that wasn't the one I was thinking of. What I was thinking of happened after that. It involved the Fugitoid, actually, and the Triceratons. Do love those Triceratons. And why I liked it was mainly the turn of power thing. Master Splinter left, and then so the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles got curious and found his spell book or whatever he used, and ended up in a fight and ended up winning, and quite by accident. Well, they didn't win by accident. They accidentally ended up in a fight, and then it was like a, think Tournament of Power from Dragon Ball Super. Before, Dragon Ball thought of it. And so they took part in a tournament of power sort of thing. A tournament. And the reward was like something big and powerful or something. Anyways, something happened, and and then after that, you just think that, well, it's done. I mean, that plot line is over with, right? Well, then a few episodes later, then things happen, and it's back to this plot line, and then that plot line gets resolved, which is drat. I used the wrong green. I need the Chris Pine for this one. This one needs to get the Chris Pine treatment. There I go talking and not paying attention. But yeah, it was kind of neat because there were several episodes of just the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fighting against, other interdimensional beings. And as I said before, Michelangelo was actually like the ultimate winner of that. And let's see, Master Splinter's friend was like the high samurai, or I think daimyo. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but like the high samurai, the king of the samurais or something. And then something happens, and then it's just like, oh, well, I guess that plot line's over. And then a few episodes later, then it's, oh, all of a sudden there's a time rift, and then everyone's back, and all the timelines, all the possible timelines happen, and it was ingenious. I still love that series. It's funny. I need to look up that one again. I think it's the Fugitoid arc that introduces the Triceratons in the first place. The Fugitoid was actually the mind of a brilliant scientist put in the body of a robot. And he has like information on interdimensional travel or something. And all the bad guys want to get a hold of him, and he happens upon the turtles, and then they help him. And so then they get embroiled and make enemies of the Triceratons, who are these anthropomorphic Triceratops, which look amazing. What I remember most about them, though, this is one of the most memorable scenes. I don't remember the scene very well, actually. But they infiltrated, the mothership. There was this big thing called the mothership, and it was this huge ship, spaceship, and it orbits Earth, And so the head Triceraton guy is like, oh, we want the turtles, and they're like, hey, we have never actually seen these guys before, or anything like that. So anyways, the turtles are able to infiltrate the ship. And one of the ways they do that is, I don't remember exactly the mechanics of it, but somehow they knocked out one of the guards or something and took his clothes. So, of course it's a kid show, so they didn't take all of his clothes. But, anyways, the Triceraton guy wakes up, I think, and is like, oh no, they escaped, or something like that. I need to sharpen this pencil. So, anyways, basically, also I like that they rewrote everything. I mean, basically, because everybody basically knows the story of the Shredder, basically, but this particular franchise or series or show kind of took that and put it on its head. Because this time there were the Utroms, and the Utroms are just brains. And you'd think of like what Krang is. Except that a lot of the Utroms were good. They weren't like evil like Krang. Which is kind of different from the comic books because, Anyways, the Utroms came to Earth long, long time ago. Back in the feudal Japanese era. And for the most part, they were good. Except for one that they brought along. And that was, Shredder. basically. And so anyways, over the years, the remaining neutrons, there's a bunch of them, created TCRI. And it's TCRI that created the gel, or the mutagen that mutated some regular turtles into the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But anyways, initially the Turtles were like mad at the Utrons because they took Master Splinter away. Another thing I liked about it, not they took Master Splinter away or anything like that, is that it followed really closely, at least for a while, the comics. Because in the comics, this was after the, I forget exactly what the MacGuffin was, but there was this MacGuffin. A MacGuffin is like this item that really is like a plot device, but doesn't really do anything. It was like this item of extreme power, and then after the good guys won, the bad guys got basically taken away, and you think they get taken away for good. Krang got teleported to this toxic waste planet or something. And he's just like a brain, you know, and he's not able to get around or anything. But that's when he meets Slash, who is like a turtle, another mutant turtle. And Slash ends up like not being a completely bad guy. All Slash wants is to basically save the trees. He wants his little palm tree or whatever. Bebop and Rocksteady are basically teleported to like this reserve planet. This planet that's like a... has animals, safari type thing, like a preserve, nature preserve. And this is from the Archie comics. Shredder is just like thrown in jail, but he like promptly escapes. Oh, my pencil broke. Oops. But anyways, I'm not sure if it was actually ever in the show, but I did read through like some of the storylines again of the comics that I was able to find. And there was a time when Krang like took over Shredder's mind by sitting on his head. You know, the brain was over the head, you know. Krang was, and it was interesting. Mango, right? It says, is this mango? Mango. Yeah, this is mango. Okay. But anyways, okay. There we go. And this is actually looking pretty nice. Okay, we're going to go carefully around the belt. Just like that. Brown. So, yeah. Anyways, Krang ends up getting saved by Slash. And then they end up taking like stealing a spacecraft. So in the process, they go and they get Bebop and Rocksteady off of the planet, whatever it is, you know, the nature preserve planet. Oh. But anyways, That's basically the end of the arc for Bebop and Rocksteady, because they willingly, they just go back to the nature preserve because they like it better than their life of crime. But it was really an interesting comic, to say the least. Anyways, but there was that to a certain extent. They took elements from the Archie comics in this particular iteration of the animated series, and then they kind of proceeded with it. I think in the episode after that, or let's see, I think that's when Mondo Gecko was created, I guess, I would say. I don't know what the actual... Well, in the comics, it was that Mondo Gecko was like this rocker, really into heavy metal, and he was practicing with his band in an old Foot Clan thing while Shredder was in jail, because Shredder was in jail for a while, till he found a way to escape. In the meantime, his base, or he had lots of bases, his base was unoccupied and was really good for sound, so this rocker, who would later become Mondo Gecko, who had a gecko on his shoulder most of the time, was practicing there, and then he got some ooze on him, and then he turned into a gecko. I don't know how it is in the movie, because like I said, I haven't seen that movie. But that's how it was in the show. He just got some ooze on him, and then he turned into a gecko. In Jara, there's a different quest line, or a different storyline, where the Turtles went back to Japan. And that's when they meet Ninjara, who is basically, there's a werewolf type guy, who is like the big bad now. How many words are there? There's a lot. So, Ninjara was working for this warlord, or this mafia dude, who is also a canine. I won't say he's like a werewolf. He was more of just a canine wolf type thing. Maybe more like a dog. And they wanted to start. Excuse me. There was this dude. There's this guy who accidentally got imbued by the power to turn into a dragon, a huge yellow dragon. I forget what his name was. It was like this. It wasn't Savage Dragon. Savage Dragon was somebody completely different, and that was a green dragon. This was some yellow dragon, and the essence of this dragon kind of saved this firefighter's life because he was selfless. And so, anyways, the criminal underbelly tried to, manipulate this guy into committing crimes or something, through hypnosis or something, or through manipulation, or in some way or another. And so that's when Ninjara comes in. Ninjara was working for this dude. And, this is green. I want the pine green. Where did my pine green go? Oh, there it is. And so the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have to, talk her out of it. And then she's like, oh, can I join you? And so then she starts falling for Raphael. Let's see. Well, silly. I'm going to end with this story probably. Because I still have just this right here to do. What was silly is, because these came out when I was a kid, these comics. And so me and my cousin would read them, right? And so we'd read about, Raphael and this fox chick, And so, this is going to be really stupid. But, so anyways, we're kids, So we're always talking about, like, oh, well, a turtle and a fox are getting together. What would you call the babies? Would they be called fertiles or would they be called tocs? And it was just kind of stupid like that. I'd rather this be the pine green, but I'll settle for this green. I'm going to have to resharpen this pencil anyways, because it's broken. Okay. So, yeah. Because that's the way kids are, when it comes to, like, things like romance or people getting together. I'm just picking random colors here. But yeah, the Archie comics went to some really weird places, like literally. There was an interdimensional cow head called Cuddly the Cowlick. And he would eat the turtles and then teleport them, around the universe. And that one also really dealt with like a tournament because there was like there was a TV station, like an intergalactic, like interdimensional TV station, and the turtles were recruited into that. So was not Leatherface. He was the crocodile. He was in the comics also, and he was also in the video game. He was this Cajun dude that got cursed by a gypsy and got turned into a gator. He got recruited by the Fighting League, and he stayed there, at least until he joined the Mighty Mutanimals later. But anyways, I know that he had leather in the name. Give me a sec. Okay, it turns out his name is Leatherhead. I knew it was Leather something. I knew it wasn't Leatherface because that's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre dude. So his name was Leatherhead because he tried to steal from a gypsy or something. He got turned into an anthropomorphic gator. So yeah. So for a while he was with this fighting league. It was like this wrestling troupe that would put on these shows. Intergalactic shows, actually. Anyways. Oh. This shouldn't take too long. We'll do this one too. This one's going to be tough. Okay, well, actually, just toward my page a little bit. I'm going to have to tape that. That's fine. Okay, so we still have our colors out. This is the regular green, isn't it? Okay. I probably shouldn't use the cardboard so close to the edge. There we go. This will be fine. Okay, so, oops. Yeah, I'll just resharpen this pencil. Give me a sec. Okay, now this should be nice and sharp. Hopefully I don't break it again. We'll be careful with this. I don't want to do any more damage to the page. Uh-oh, I think it's broken. So we're going to just be careful here. There we go. Go. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to need this green a little later. Okay, I think I used the dark orange for Mikey's, yeah, these. It's like this. Just like that. Just like this. Okay. So that's Raphael. Wait. Okay. Let's see. So Raphael, we need red. It's like that and like this. Okay. And this. Just like that. Now. Let's use context clues. Okay. So my guess is that Donatello is tuning everything up. So I can't tell. Let me really zoom in. Okay. So, green or brown. Brown. Let's see. Okay. I see we need some pine green here. That is not pine green. That is regular green. So I need the pine green. This is vert pin. Pine green. Okay. Okay. I need the mango now. Mango smoothie. Just like that. Okay. Raphael has a red headband. Right here, red headband. Just like that. Good. Okay, so that's obscured by that. Okay. I need the green now. Hopefully this doesn't break. When you sharpen the pencil this much, it's bound to break. Hopefully it doesn't for a while. I don't exactly have the control here that I had before, but that's okay. So we're going to... Yeah, this is already broken. I can tell it. There we go. So, oh, here we go. Okay, so we do need more orange. Okay. Not the mango, we need the darker orange. Got it. So we just do this and this. Just like that. Yeah. Okay. Now we need the mango. Just like that. There we go. Oh, well. Brown. And, oh yeah, this should be brown. Just like this. Yeah. Brown. Okay, green. So we'll just do this, and it just broke again. Maybe we can see it. Okay. Okay, well I'm going to have to sharpen this pencil again. Okay, well this is definitely different. At least this one won't break. So just like that. Just like that. Okay. Okay, we need to, okay, there's feet here. Okay, just like that. Yeah. Okay. I see. Mm-hmm. Okay. Could just do all the green first here. Just like that. Takes a lot of green. Just like that. Now, we'll come back to that one. I still think it's probably Donatello that's tweaking all the machines. So, I might be wrong. We'll take a guess. Okay. And dark green. I need the pine green again. The pine forest green. It's like that. Okay. Now, this leaves Leonardo. We have blue. And we're going to need probably black or something for the gray on the machines, but okay. There we go. Yeah, okay. Okay. Let's see, I need some mango. There we go, we got some mango going on. There we go. Got some mango going on. And let's go back to green. Is this the right green? Yeah, vert. Verdant vert. Okay. 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 There we go. Now, let me find black. Should be right here. This is actually dark brown, but it'll work fine. Actually, if I can find the actual black, let's see. Oh, here it is. Yep. Okay. Well, we know the tires are black, so we'll just do this. Do that. Let's just barely touch the. It's like that. Let's see. We're going to give these a little bit of a metallic tone. Barely touch the paper. Can do this. Just like that. And then just do the same thing with this. Just to give it like a metallic sheen. We should probably be using silver for this, but we'll use gray. Kind of like that. So there's like a metallic feel to it. There's that. The handlebars. We'll just go over this in gray. Yeah, I kind of like that. That kind of gives it a machine-y look. There we go. Let's do... We'll make the... kind of give the illusion of light coming from those. Okay. And, let's do that for a little color. There we go. We're not going to play tic-tac-toe, but that's done. I'll tape up this since it did get injured, damaged. But, okay. So anyways, we did this, and we did this. That's going to do it for this video. If you like this content, make sure to like and subscribe, ring the bell so you know when I upload. Also, if you want to support me in any way, or if you want to join the Discord server, all that information will be in the description below. And as always, thanks for watching, everyone. You are loved, and have a great day.